Wait for a second. One more minute. I hit on live on TikTok already, and I'm live on Facebook already. It's hard to get you all coordinated.
It is tough.
There it goes. Okay.
All right.
Hi guys. They can't hear me.
We'll be.
Why?
I don't know. I can hear
Oh, you can hear me, but they can't hear me on TikTok again.
you. All right.
I'm having the worst time with this. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm at my
Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana has been a practicing psychic for over 25 years and has the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. Of course, if you want to check Atlanta out, go to www.enchantedsky, that's SKYE.com, or like and subscribe to her YouTube channel out there, Lana's Enchanted Sky. Follow and like her on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. She's probably on it, and you need to follow and like her because she does more than just hang out with us here at 216 The Net on Sunday mornings. Lana, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? I am busy as a beaver. Right now, I'm in the process also of going live on back to TikTok. I'm having a lot of problems. It's just been hard on trying to get everybody to be on the same page, when you've got so many people watching, it's kind of crazy. So there. I want to make sure everybody's hearing me off of TikTok. So please tell me if you are. And by the way, what we're going to be covering today is talking about there we go. It's a little better. We're going to be talking a little bit about talking to your higher self.
Yes.
So you guys know what I'm talking about by your higher self?
Yeah, not your teenage smoking pot days, right?
No, I never smoked pot. I've never smoked pot. I know I really have never. Keep going. Okay, guys, people are getting notified now of because I had to restart it.
There you go.
Anyway, you guys know I'm having a really hard time with my brand new iPad. I paid a lot of money for it. It kind of sucks. But anyway, so hi guys. If you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me because I'm assuming that you can. So off of TikTok, okay? So what we're going to be doing today is I have a half hour speaking of what I'm going to be talking about, talking to your higher self, okay? Yes, you can hear me good. And then what I'm going to be doing is taking questions. So it's only 45 minutes, so it's quick and easy, all right? Hi guys, I'm like people are asking to get asking to join live with me, and I'm kind of looking at everybody. But anyway, so what I'm going to talk about today is what I know. Now, you guys know I'm working on my PhD. Yeah. Hi, Anna. And I'm really busy with that. And I'm still working. And I'm crazy, aren't I? Because I think I with you again. I am. I miss the kids. You guys know I'm also a teacher. All right. Hi there. Hi, guys. Hi, James.
Retired teacher.
I'm a retired teacher. See, it's hard. I'm still saying I'm a teacher. Like I am now, but I went back to homebound already. I'm doing just a couple, 3 hours for 4 days a week. Yeah, laugh your ass off. I know. I kept saying I want to retire, and all I did was complain. And now I'm retired, and I was crying. I ran into my principal, and she wants me. She goes, "Can't you just do something in the building? Anything to get you back in the building?" Because they liked me in the building, and I cried and cried because I miss the kids. I don't miss the adults and I don't miss the system, but I miss the kids. So with that said, I just thought I'd let you guys know that. But that's where I'm at. So what we're going to be talking about today is your higher self and connecting through dreams. Now, I am a dream interpreter. I can kind of tell what's going up. Hi, Sunshine. Hi, guys. So that you guys understand that I do research in all this. I don't just pull this out of my butt. Okay. I actually have been like doing this for 25 years. So, but I do want to tell you, I'm a dream interpreter. And so if anybody's got a dream and they want it interpreted, I can do it. Now, what's so funny is I can't always do my own, but usually I can. Now it's funny because I'm going to get into that because we're going to be talking about, this is like a 2 or 3 part series. Okay. Hi guys. So what we're doing is talking about your higher self, and you're going to do it through dreams. And we're going to concentrate this week on dreams. It'll be other ways that we're concentrating on so that you guys know. Okay. But anyway, so the first thing, your soul knows everything. I mean, you guys do understand that that pit of your stomach knows everything. All right. It knows the answer to everything. Every breath you ever took. Have you ever heard of your Akashic records? Your Akashic records are every breath you've ever taken. Everything you've ever done is in your Akashic record. Well, your soul's aligned with that. Your soul knows everything. Okay. It's not a secret to that, your soul. That's why sometimes they always say, was I at Lilydale this past summer? No, I was not, but I know where Lilydale is. I have a friend that lives near there. I'm going to be visiting there this summer. Thank you for asking. I know exactly where it's at. Okay. It's a camp in New York. See, I already knew. So anyway, so when you're talking about your chakras, and you remember I talked about chakras, Kat?
Yes.
About chakras. You have different chakras, third eye, all of them, throat, all the way down. Well, the one right above your stomach is the pit of your soul. That's your solar plexus. Well, that's you know how they always say follow your gut.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally your soul talking. Your soul knows everything. You remember you meet somebody and you have like that pit, that weird queasy stuff, feeling in your stomach. It's because you've known them before. Okay. So just to let you guys know, that's what that is. So what you're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about dreams and how they connect to that. And it gives you how your soul talks to you through your dreams, because that is literally what your soul does. Okay. Now, all right. It knows, like I've already said, it knows everything. And there's different types of dreams. First of all, I want everybody to know that, because there's visitations where you've got your family members and everything. They're coming through to you. Now, with that said, have you ever had anybody? You've had people come through, haven't you? Kent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think everybody I've ever talked to has had somebody come through. Okay. So they've come through and sometimes they've told you something. Sometimes you've just spent time with them. Sometimes, when you get up in the morning and you feel like you're drug out, really drug out, even though you slept all night, you probably were doing a visitation somewhere. Now I'm going to get into that more in a few minutes, but, so anyway, you've got your visitations, and then the other type of dreams you get, they're trying to tell you stuff, is your fear. You have a fear dream, something that you're afraid of that will manifest in your dreams. Okay. Then you've also got a wish dream. That what would you wish to happen? So that's why when you have a dream about somebody you really like, it's a wish dream. Okay. But then your fourth type is your premonition. Now that is also, I did cover on one of my podcasts, and I think it's downloaded onto Spotify. I think it was maybe about 6 to 9 months ago. I did a podcast about the different types of empaths. And the different types of empaths, the premonitions, if you're a dreaming psychic, do you see that where you have premonitions a lot? That's a type of empath ability and empath gift. Okay. So, hi guys. Hi. Oh, hi, Marissa. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to explain them so you understand the different types, because sometimes you have to have some people to explain them what they are. That's why some people are dream interpreters. Like, I don't know why, I just know kind of what they mean. And then they'll say, well, that's funny. And then sometimes when I'm doing the interpretation, I'll say, well, blah, 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 blah in your past life. And she's like, that's believable. And so that's usually what people say to me. So I think I did one, because I do probably about 5 to 6 readings a day. And over the course of 25 years, that's a lot. And some of the people have said, well, isn't that funny when I will say something like that? And this, well, isn't that funny? I think, no, it's not funny. That's what's true, you know? All right.
Yeah.
So Panta, okay, you sometimes see your grandmother, my past dogs. Once I saw myself as a snake in the desert swallowing a whole mouse. You were scared of taking on something. That's what that meant, that snake thing. Snakes in your dreams, actually, did you know they can mean luck? Did you know that?
I
They
did
can
not
mean
know
good luck, believe it or not. Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. Depends on how it is.
that. I don't
But
like
go ahead. What?
I don't like them. So
I don't like snakes either. I live out here on the farm and we have a lot of snakes. We have a lot. And it's not so bad out in the horse pasture because the horses, the stomping of the horses, the weight, the vibration, the snakes don't like it. But when we first moved in, we had a friend that came out here and a snake crawled right past her. And they're not small. They're probably, I think they're like corn snakes, but they're probably that long or longer. She was freaking out. So anyway, but so this is how you understand your dreams. Okay. This is how you understand. Okay. Hi guys. Hi Kim. All right. So you first got your thought of does this feel real? And you know how some dreams seem so real and you're like, wow, is that real? And then you're like, I don't know. A lot of times when you think they're real or they feel real, they are. So if you're really having a visitation, for instance, I've said this one many times. I've had dreams where my family's come through. Recently, I tell you, yes, I think I said that on my podcast. I don't know why. My father-in-law, my mother, and Pete, our former producer, came through in a dream. And they told me all kinds of information. Matter of fact, that was some of the stuff I predicted on my first podcast of the year. And it was interesting because my grandfather, or my son, I should say my father-in-law would be their grandfather, was holding hands of two children with two children behind him. And they looked very familiar to me. And I don't even know why. And you know what he said? He goes, these are your grandkids. And I believe it because I keep having a dream about a very, very blonde, like my husband's really super blonde, you guys. He's like white. He had white hair when he was little and stuff. And this one had white hair as a little boy. And I'm like, it's very possible. So that was a visitation. Okay. So they happen all the time. I've had one from my father. I've got them all the time. And those are real. And if you've had those, really, saw your brother 2 days after he died, he hugged me and you felt, and it felt real. But you know what, Bobby, it was a visitation. If you believe they're possible, they're possible. The only people that I've ever known who say that's not possible, they don't happen to them. You know what I'm saying? And I really do think that we do have them and we don't always remember them also, by the way. Okay. I think that sometimes you don't always register. I always keep my little book, and I write stuff down right away because I will forget my dreams. So when that's said, so was there a past person? Now that you can have friends come through too. Like I said, I've had friends come through. I've had animals come through. I've had, after the death of my first horse, was the love of my life. It took me 3 years to get over that. I still am not quite over it. And we had to put him down. He got way too old. He was like 25, 26. But anyway, he came to me in a dream. And that, I know that was a visitation because I know the animals are on the other side. I can always see them. I'm also a pet psychic. So, all right. So some of the other things are some of the things you can be thinking about are they really are visitations. And what info are they giving you? Are they giving you some information? They may be giving you information also. Advice. They might be saying, hey, I'm proud of you. You did a good job. I've had that happen. Today, I had a woman that said she had a dream that her grandmother came through. Who was her guide? Because when you call me for a reading, the very first thing is somebody comes through before I even pick a phone up. And they're talking to me before because I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that a lot of times will come through in dreams also. Okay. So that you guys understand. All right. So what are they? So they're usually giving you information. So sometimes they're warning you. They'll give you a warning. I don't know. Have you ever had a warning dream, Kent?
Well, if I did, I don't remember it right now.
Okay. All right.
But
Sometimes
give me an idea of what a warning dream is.
you know what? Don't buy that car. That car's a piece of junk.
Yeah, no, I've had those.
Oh,
Yeah,
you have?
not
Okay, so
not necessarily for a car, but maybe.
and it could even be your higher self talking to you. It
Okay.
doesn't have to necessarily be a relative. It could be your higher self talking to you.
Mhm.
So, okay. So what kind of other things they could be helping you process information. Like maybe, you're grieving and they're helping you process your emotions. That could be something else that they're doing, okay? Um Okay. You know what? Steffers says, I was waking up with panic attacks when looking at a certain house. That could be a past life. You do have sometimes, when I talk about processing, that's another issue I was just going to mention. You just walked me right into it. That you can have past life dreams. I know that as a young child, I was deathly afraid of tornadoes. Deathly. I mean, at 4 years old, you would tell me the word tornado, and they said there was even a tornado watch. I mean, I was in the bathroom like ready to throw up. It was, and under hypnotic suggestion, because I'm a hypnotist, but I was put under a past life regression. I died in a tornado. I was a man. I had built a house, was sending for my family, and the tornado destroyed everything. And I was holding onto a tree before I died, like a little sapling. And I mean, and it ended. Now I have had that dream 100 times growing up. I remember a big, scary tornado growing up. I used to wake up in the middle of the night and be scared. And my mom would go back to bed. I'd be crying and be like, but there's a tornado. She goes, no, there's not. I said, yes, there is. And I remember it very distinctly. So sometimes we still process other lifetime events in our dreams, because remember, our soul knows it and we will just keep processing it. Okay. So to let you guys know.
Yep.
All right.
And if you want to go deep into your dreams with Lana, you can always go to www.enchantedSky.com and book a reading and or appointment. And if it's for dreams, she'll work with you on that.
Yep. And I do dreams, so that you guys know. I'm going to switch my angle a little bit here there we go. That's a little better. So I have like 5 cameras on me. So, okay. With that said, so back to what we were saying is, we have all this information and all these lifetimes that we're receiving. And you have to remember that we're doing the best we can because our soul is processing it all the time. Okay. So with that said, here's another thing I want you to think about. Can you interpret? Okay. So thank you so much for sharing your gifts with me. Oh, thank you. That was nice of you. Thank you so much. Now I'm switching my camera just a little bit again. I don't like how it's sitting. I'm going to move this slightly. Sorry, you guys. I'm doing the best I can. Remember, there's a lot of information going on here. So, okay. And it'll get better because right now I'm by the way remote. You guys know that, right? I'm remote. So sometimes you'll see me remote and I'm at home. So you'll see me doing that. So here we go. There, that's better. I think. There, that better? No, not really, but we'll try. Sorry, TikTok. So anyway, our souls are talking through those dream states, and it's necessarily not to just recharge the batteries, because that's really what sleep is. It's recharging your batteries, right? It's also, did you know it's processing your food? Your liver needs to process. That's why we sleep. If we can't, that's why people with liver damage don't sleep right. So if you start not sleeping right, by the way, it's liver damage. Did you know that? I did not know that. That was something I recently learned. So I thought that was very interesting.
As we talk about communicating with our higher self, Jesse Knight says, how do you remember your dreams? Because I do, but don't.
You do, but you don't. Ask yourself to remember your dreams. I know that sounds weird, but that's absolutely true. Okay. There. I got it, TikTok. Sorry. Got you, TikTok. So what you do is you ask your higher self, please let me remember. Ask God to let you remember, and then use a notebook. Because I do it all the time too. I still do it. And I am like talking about it. So with that said, there's not much else to do but to try and, get, try to write it down. There's been time. Have you ever woken up, say, oh, what a dream, and then you go back to sleep and you can't remember? I do that all the time too. So yeah, it's pretty normal. It's not that abnormal, really. Okay, so that you know. All right. So
Jen Krejci says, look at your hands or feet while in the dream. And Marco says it works, saying I will remember my dreams. 100%.
Yes, you will remember your dreams. And yes, it does work. And see, I'm moving things around a little. See, little. Yeah,
you're going everywhere.
I know I am. Hey, you know what? I'm doing the best I can. I got it. Hey, like I said, I got a lot of stuff I'm up to right now. So yeah, I'm here at home, and yeah.
That's why it's called Metaphysical Meanderings.
That's right. I meander, right? So anyway, with this, you're doing astral travel also. Astral travel is where you're kind of leaving your body. I don't know if you guys know, I've talked about this before about your silver cord. Okay. The silver cord is what's attaching you to your body. Okay. And the Bible mentions the silver cord. It's Ecclesiastes 12:3. I'm really close, but it talks about until the silver cord is broken. Okay. And I know for a fact there's a silver cord, because when my mother passed, and they also talk, did you know that there's a mention in this? And now I have to find this. I know it's in the Bible somewhere, that the cord is also attached to your children and your parent, and the mother is attached. Not so much as the father as the mother, because she's the bearer of life, and it resembles the umbilical cord. Mm-hmm. So that you understand. And when my mother died, I felt her die. I know I did, because at the minute they said that she died, I pulled over my car and I was sick to my stomach, and I couldn't figure out why I was so sick. I'm like, man, what did I eat something? And my dad called me and told us she had just suddenly passed. And it was a complete shock to me too, because we weren't expecting it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so you're doing your astral traveling, and you're visiting people. They're not just visiting you, you're visiting them. I hope you guys get that, right? All right. Yeah, start watching your hands and feet. Yes. Yeah, you know what I do to say, I look down. I even sometimes I'll like that in my dream, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is it. Or I will say to myself, have you ever done this before, Ken? Hey, you're dreaming, right? I'm like,
yeah, I've done that.
You tell yourself, but don't worry, I'm dreaming. And you're telling yourself through the dream you're dreaming. And it's like, because you know why? It's your soul processing.
Okay. So what about when you dream and then you wake up and go, oh my gosh, I was dreaming. You close your eyes and you're right back where you were.
Yes, I've had that happen too. You know why? Because you haven't processed the emotions yet. Oh. So yeah, it's funny. Makes me laugh because I think about it. I've done it quite a few times. All the time. Have you ever go through a period where somebody says, I'm not dreaming? You are dreaming. You're not remembering. So like I said, now someone just said here on my Metaphysical Meanderings that they look at their hands and feet. And I do remember doing that on occasion. So, but I do tell myself, you're dreaming, or just a minute, I've even said to myself, wait, I got to wake myself up. Hold on. And I wake myself up, so it's your soul talking to you. It's your higher self. It knows all the answers to the universe. They'll know, that our soul knows what happened to the dinosaurs, and we know it all. I always say when I die, I want to find out all these mysteries. I mean, is there really Bigfoot? I'm going to get to heaven and go, is there really Bigfoot? But our soul already knows. It's just we're not accessing it enough. All right. So I have to laugh at that, because I always say, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to run up and ask all those mysteries of the universe that we don't know, because I want to, was it? But I think in a deep level, I already know it. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so you might be visiting your family. You might just be, you miss your family. Now, I'm going to be honest. I did not see my mother. I knew she was there for years and years. Matter of fact, the phone used to ring every day for months. At the time she would normally call me. Every day she would call me at a certain, like 5:00 in the afternoon. The phone would ring. Nobody was there. Call the phone company. And this is when we had landlines yet. And they'd say, nobody's calling your house. No calls have been made to your house. So you knew that she was in the house ringing the phone. you know, so it's stuff like that. But so you might be actually visiting them and not remembering. Okay. So you might also actually be visiting the other side. We miss the other side. You know what? That's our real home. This is not our home. This is not where we really live, guys. We live in heaven. That is where we live. That is where we reside. That is our real selves. And this is like kind of like a dream, sort of, to be honest. And so sometimes we get lonely for home, and we will go and we will visit home. It's that simple. And it's true. We do. If you think about some of the dreams that you've had, I can guarantee you were probably home. Okay. So I know for myself, I've had several dreams where people have come to me, and I'm looking around and I'm like realizing that, like, I dreamed that I was talking to somebody that I had sent to the other side to help get to the other side. And he came in a dream, and I was standing on marble steps, and we were talking. And I realized, you know what? I'm talking to you and you're in heaven. And then I got mad, and I was mad, and I started to cry because I was so ticked off that I had to come back here. But we're having a complete conversation. And I woke up, and my husband said I was crying when I woke up. Like, I was mad. I was just really mad. I didn't want to come back. So it is kind of like that. And that dreams, and it seems like a dream that's not necessarily a dream. Okay. But you're really visiting people. Okay. So
Jen,
go
Jen
ahead.
says, Jen says, I had an interception type dream last night.
Mhm.
In my dream, I woke up and said, I was just dreaming, then woke up for real. Is that anything? What's that about?
Oh, you're just, you know what? Okay, interception. Okay. It's just, you just were aware of your dreaming. And you had to, I feel like Jen, you might have had to tell yourself something. You had to answer some questions. You know, you can answer, your soul will tell you answers, right? When you go to sleep, please give me a sign or give me a dream, something that tells me if I should buy this new house I'm looking at. If this is the right one, please give it to me, from my soul. Without, because if you can't don't sometimes feel like you can get an answer from your gut instincts. Go to sleep and sleep on it. Every decision I ever make, I sleep for about 2 to 3 days, and my answer comes to me because my soul's talking to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. All right. Yeah. Have you ever dreamed that you are dreaming? Yes. We were just talking about that. You're dreaming that you're having a dream. Yes. And you're going, hey, I'm dreaming. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're dreaming. And you're talking to yourself in the dream, having the dream.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So yes, it's true. It does happen. So, okay.
I'd ask, can your dream just be without a specific meaning and maybe a reflection of what makes your mind busy in real life?
Yes, it can be. It's a processing dream. You can just be processing something that may have happened today. It may be a wish. More than often, it's a fear or a wish. It's a deep-seated wish. Okay? Like I have a lot of people that'll say, "Well, I had a dream that my old boyfriend came back to me and blah blah blah." And you hate to admit it because maybe he was mean to you or something, but it's a deep-seated wish. So, okay. So now, we're talking about, we already talked about the silver cord. Okay. And here it is. Ecclesiastes 12:6. It talks about the cutting of the cord, the silver cord, and it resembles like the umbilical cord, and it's connected to your body at the solar plexus, right where the seat of the soul sits. So when somebody does die, and you've ever heard stories about when people pass and you can actually see them pass. I saw my dad pass, and I saw him stand right up out of the middle of his stomach. I watched him. He smiled. So he was meeting somebody. I still say it was my mom. I think so. I don't know, but he smiled. And 3 days, this was what was weird. Now, tell me about this one. 3 days before, as my dad he's very, very ill. And we went up there every day because we knew it wasn't much longer. And I had a dream. I had my great grandfather, my grandfather, and another man, my uncle, I think one of my uncles, they were in a picture frame. They were in this picture frame, and they were just smiling at me. They just kept smiling. That means they were there. How I take that is that they were waiting to meet him. So he may have met those people too when they got to the other side. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is pay attention to your dreams. They're not just dreams. They're more than dreams. Your soul is talking to you. Okay. What does it mean if you don't remember your dreams? Well, okay, Jen, what it is you're not remembering them. Ask yourself to remember them. You can. You're talking to your soul. Your soul is that's what dreams are from. They're your soul talking to you and processing stuff. Okay. So just remember. So one more thing, because we're almost out of time already, you guys. Remember, believe it or not, I do this shortly because this is like a 4-part series, by the way, because I've got how we're going to be talking to your higher self in different ways. But 4 quick ways you can also access your higher self, not just through dreams. You can do meditation, deep relaxation, your breathing, and then your guided imagery. And those are all the higher things when you're doing, like, you're zoning out a little bit. You're in I had somebody that asked me recently about hypnosis. And hypnosis, she goes, well, I just don't think I'm comfortable having somebody tell me, control me. But I can't control anything. You have to understand that stuff that's on stage is fake. They say, oh no, it's real. So you have to understand those people wanted to bark like a dog. They wanted to, I cannot do anything to you that you do not allow me to do to you. You have full control. What it is I'm accessing your soul. Wow. I'm letting your soul speak for you. And a lot of times, some of the stuff that comes out is absolutely amazing, because the other side isn't 100%. They don't always know what's going to happen too, by the way. I want you guys to know that. I talk to the other side all the time and every day, pretty much. And they don't always know the future either, but they do know bizarre little things that sometimes actually end up helping you. So that's why they act as guides, if they can get a little bit of piece of information in. What was it? Something came. A lot of times I learn stuff from my readings, like little information, like some of the predictions I make come from people who've talked to me from the other side. And I thank them for their information, but they're talking to their loved ones, giving me information. Like one time I had a lost cat that I got loose, and they said, oh, it's okay, you're going to hear in 3 days. Just matter of factly. And sure enough, I did. Now they knew that, but like sometimes they don't always know. Plus it's always free will. You can always kind of change it too. So, okay.
All right, it's about that time, isn't it? And it goes fast. Of course, this is where we say, if you have a question for Lana, go ahead and ask, but be very, very specific. In other words, don't go, what's in the stars for me? Nothing of that nature. Be very, very specific. That way, she can dial in. Now, also keep in mind that if you're listening, there's a lot of energy out there. So she may be answering one person's question.
I've only got about a couple hundred on, it looks like, on TikTok, a couple on Facebook, but on my metaphysical meanderings, we're thinking we have between 750 and 1 million people.
That's right.
So we have a lot of people watching. So I've got a really good questions though, Kent. I got really good questions here on TikTok. So hold on. Okay. All right, hold on. Floating. If you dream that you're floating in dreams, you really do float. That is your soul. Your soul has no weight to it. So that's a very good question. How about, do past life regressions affect anything? Yes. Do past life regressions, can you do them in this life? I just did one with somebody. She was having a hard time with her emotions, and I regressed her to the point when she was a little girl in this lifetime. And she woke up, almost like she woke, like I looked at me and went, oh my God. And she could remember stuff. That was why she was having such a hard time. And I can get you to another lifetime, but sometimes you address the ones that are here in this lifetime too. So, okay. What about I have one more question. Can spirit guides, oh, I just lost it. I hate when they do that.
TikTok rolls so fast.
They do. It rolls fast, you guys. Okay. Can your spirit guides predict your future? They can to a certain point, but they can't get involved too much. Did you know that? Because it's free will. You can ask for help, but they can help you if it's meant. But when there's a free will thing, they can't do a thing. And they're not always accurate with future predictions too. No. I've had a couple that have been off from a couple of spirit guides. So they don't always know everything. Okay. So just let you know. Yep. Okay. So now start asking me questions, TikTok.
Jesse asks, I
what
have
do you-
a guy that wants to visit, haven't dated in years, and I'm wondering whether or not I should let him come. I stopped answering his calls, and he's still catching the plane. Should I message him?
Okay, I haven't dated in I wonder whether or not I should let him come. I stopped answering his call, and he's still watching and he is still catching. Let him come. I don't know why. Let him come. I think you will be happy that you did. I know you see, Jesse, you feel like an empath, and I think you'd feel really, really guilty if he came all that way and had to turn around. Let him talk to you. Keep him. This is me talking. Keep him at a slight distance. I wouldn't like invite him into the house to stay overnight and all that. You meet him. I don't feel like he's an okay guy. I really do. Okay. All right. So okay, Jenja. What's going on with your health? You have to be a little more specific, please. I've got probably a million people watching me. Okay. All right.
Kelly Jess Furman says, and she says it really loud, where will I be moving to this year? Thank you.
Where will you be moving to? You're moving. Kelly, do you live out east now? Because it feels like you're going west. Because if you were out west, you couldn't go any farther west. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's where it's warmer and it's drier. So okay. Somebody wants to know where they can find my podcast. 216thenet.com.
That's right.
Is my podcast growing, a very large growing podcast station out of Chicago. So people on here.
You should also tell them to subscribe to your YouTube channel because they're all out there as well.
Yes, it's also on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to me and you'll find everything there. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. I'm asking questions back and forth. Give me one, Kat.
Anna says, do you see me working at home in my next job?
Yes. On the computer, right? I feel like you're on the computer. Like, is it customer service, Anna? I can't remember. I know you pretty well, but I can't remember. But it feels like it's something where you're taking phone calls. I don't know why I say that, but okay. Let's see what else we got. Hi guys. You guys can ask questions on also on Facebook. I see a lot of people on. There's a lot of people on right now. Oh, look at the line of them. There's a lot of people.
Panta asks, Lana, on Thursday next week at 8, I have another exam. Do you think I will pass? It might sound weird, but every time I ask you a question, you tell me the truth.
I tell you the truth, Panda's a follower because she knows that when over time, you guys watch me, I invite you to, because you'll see over time. And if you go back even 2 years, I predicted the riot on January 6th, 3 days before. Because they tell me. I just write, you guys do understand. I just say what they tell me to say, right? It's not that I'm this magical being. I can hear them. So I just repeat what they say. Panta, you're going to pass barely. Make sure you studied enough. Barely, by the skin of your teeth, darling. 2 or 3 points. But you're going to pass. So don't worry. You're going to be okay. All right.
Jessie also said that her tarot card said the same thing. So yay.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, good. All right. How do you go about contacting a spirit guide? They're around you all the time. This is what I did. When I initially wanted to know if my angel or spirit guide was around me, I said, please show me your name. Somehow tell me. Now, I've always been attracted to the name Angela, and I just really liked it. And I was reading, and the word angel basically just jumped up in my eyes. Like I kind of did that, and it did it 3 times throughout the day, that I was kind of thinking I'd like to know my spirit guide's name so I can talk to him. And that's what happened. Now, my spirit guides can change, you guys. You guys know that, right? You can get a new spirit guide because your needs change. I have one that's called Dances in the Wind that I picked up when I was in New Mexico. I love New Mexico. I'm very drawn to all of that. And if you ever see my house, you'll see it's very like a very westerny, southwesterny, even though I live in Wisconsin, but still.
Goodbye.
And I picked him up, and it was really bad because he was closing doors, turning on and off lights. And now he's one of my guides. I have a third one who's also a Native American who I want to call him Red Cloud. I don't know why, but he's a younger guy. And on occasion, they will let themselves be known. So if I froze slightly, sorry, TikTok, I'm low in battery. So hopefully I won't lose you. Only a couple more minutes left anyway. So, okay.
Emma
So
asks, will I pass my current training course that is due to finish next month?
as far as I can see, Emma, is there any way that that would get backed up for some reason in next month? It doesn't. Is it at the end of Emma? Is it at the end of next month? Because it seems like or well, maybe you'll hear in April. I don't know. Something to do with like it's longer than that. I don't know what that means. So, okay. All right. So, with that said, okay. Should I start a new career? You betcha. And you're in the middle of an awakening, by the way. I want to tell you, CM Buttes, you are in the middle of an awakening and you will discover, seat of the soul, start talking to it. It knows the way.
There you
Okay.
go. Tracy7 Trey says, I have dreams that a loved one comes to me to say goodbye and passes shortly after. Is that possible?
Okay. Yes. Yes. I've had it happen many, many times. What you're probably, they sometimes want to lessen the blow and they don't realize that it kind of freaks you out sometimes, but they want to make sure they're heard. And so sometimes, yes, I've had it happen a lot where they come to say goodbye before they go and they let me know. And I will remember, and sometimes I'll be like, really? I have prayed to God to not let me know when people die. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want the stress of it, because I have accidentally predicted people's deaths, and it scares. I don't want to do that, and so I haven't been given that information in quite a while now because I've asked God not to give it to me.
Yeah.
Because it's I know that the way this works is that God doesn't want you to know something. He's not going to give you the information. But if they want you to know as a warning, they will give you the information. So sometimes I will say to somebody, please be careful, go to the doctor. I want you to check your heart out because they're showing me a heart attack or something. And I'm like, I won't tell you that, but I will say, go to the doctor, please. Promise me you'll go. I did that to somebody recently where I'm like, and he said, he goes, I've got AFib. And I'm like, I know, please, and see, that was a warning that saved him. Remember, you got 5 exit points, right? That was one of your possible exit points, right? So there you go. That explains that, right?
DB asks, I would like to know how my dog is doing. Passed away 2 months ago. I miss him so much.
Was your dog, okay, DB, I don't know. I see a couple of dogs. I see one like I don't know if it's a Sheltie. It's got kind of like an Australian Shepherd. There's something like it's got like a white, it's all different colors. It's like tricolored or something. Then I see one that's real dark. It looks like a lab or something. Tell me if I'm right, because I'm seeing a couple of dogs for you. Tell me if I'm right, okay?
There you go.
And they could even be family members, dogs, because this is what it looks like on the other side for animals. They run all over the place and in heaven. And so when you're standing there and you're in animal heaven and they're with you, there's birds flying. So if you've had birds, I've seen snails. I see all the animals. I'm guessing that there's going to be thousands of chickens because I raise chickens. They'll be flying all over. Even the little chicks that I couldn't save, that I just was really upset that I couldn't save the chick. They'll be there waiting for me. So I've got quite a menagerie waiting for me. So yeah. But anyway, all right. A couple more questions.
Got about 2 minutes left.
All
right, PT Chris says, lately I have been feeling that just by looking at someone, I can feel and understand what they are feeling and going through. Do I have any psychic abilities?
Oh, darling, you're an empath. That's an empath. Yeah. And I want you guys to understand why so many people are into all this now, because we are lifting our vibrations as human beings. We started the age of Aquarius in 2020. We have no option but to move up. And that's where all these growing pains are coming from. All the negativity, all the people that are fighting and arguing and blah, 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 is because of the age of Aquarius. We can't go back. We can only go forward. I'm telling you, you're going to see, and that was my prediction, right, Kent?
Right.
I said, we're going to start being nicer to each other. You said it to me yesterday. He's like, but I don't see that, because there's people fighting it. There are people fighting love. They
Yeah.
don't like themselves. They don't like others. They're miserable in their own lives, and they're fighting the vibration that's lifting.
Yep.
Okay.
Evelyn De La Cruz asks, do you know if Bitcoin will be big in a couple of years from now?
No, no. If I were you, you know what? I got out of Bitcoin. And I did it right before it fell. I was lucky. I only had a couple $100. It was no big deal. But I am going to guarantee that's nothing that I'm really cautious with cryptocurrency right now. I don't know why. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not, because there's ways. I know people have made millions, but I want you to be very careful. Like I said, and I'm saying it one more time because I said it during my podcast at the beginning of the year for predictions. There's some type of crash coming. I don't understand. I still think it's housing. I still think it's housing, but like I said, I don't understand it all. I just know that's what they're showing me. Okay. A couple more questions. Okay. Will you get into nursing school? Helmer PM. Yes. It's not nursing school though. You're going into healthcare, but it's not nursing. It's a little different.
I got two. Elaine MacArthur says, do you see me changing careers this year?
Next year. You still don't know what you want to do, dear. And once you figure out what you want to do, it'll come easier. Talk to your soul. Your soul knows the way. Talk that pit of your stomach. Go with it. But it is helping people, by the way. Have you ever thought about working with kids? I don't know why I want to say that, but I'm supposed to say that. Remember, I repeat what they tell me to say. So
yeah. One last one from our good friend Nancy. And yes, Nancy, this is me. This is what I look like. Lana, any ideas how to make my flower garden do better this year? I know you're a gardener.
She knows I'm a gardener. Yes, I'm actually, if I ever had the time, I'd be a master gardener. I run a small greenhouse and I grow hostas, and I have like 2,000 types of hosta in my 5 acres. I have a foolproof idea, you guys. Now, this is another channel I've got started. So you might want to watch me on YouTube. Listen to the ingredients. Okay. I'm off the subject, but it's metaphysical meanderings.
That's right.
I do a lot of stuff, and gardening is an empathic gift, by the way. If you have a green thumb, you're a plant empath. Anyway, put a little beer, take some, I kid you not, this freaking works. Take some beer, the skunkiest, nastiest, smelliest beer you can find, the cheapest, whatever. Mix it with like maybe 3 cans with some Epsom salt. Add just a touch of food of some sort, just a little bit, just a touch. Okay. And a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Add a little bit, maybe. So if it's about a gallon, you add maybe about 8 ounces of water. Shake it, put it in your feeder. You won't believe the difference. It's unbelievable. The beer is a sugar. It's a quick fix to the roots. It adds sugar and nutrients and opens up the roots. So does the rubbing alcohol, and then the food, it allows the food to get in. You see, and of course, magnesium, Epsom salts are magnesium. So I've never seen my plants look bigger and healthier when I've done that. And they make really good tasting tomatoes. Tomatoes are really
all right. We've gone 2 minutes over, but you know what? Y'all are so great, and Lana's been gracious with her time. If she didn't get to your question, don't worry about it. Reach out to her at right over here, www.enchantedsky.com, and you can set up a reading and get with her on that. Absolutely. Follow her, like her, subscribe to her YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Help her out because she's no longer teaching. This is what she does, and she would love to help out as many people as she possibly can. For all of us here at 21/6 The Net, thanks for getting caught in the net with us today. Enjoy the rest of the day, and remember, be good and be good to each other.